And you know, who am I to give advice? Triple N says high road. Exactly. You want me to start tonight on the high road? I'm going to give you some high road. I think April looked very good today. I do. It's the healthiest she's looked in a long time. I think she looked great. There's nothing wrong with saying that. A lot of people trashing the way she looked today. A lot of people shitting on it. I think you got to go a long way. Like, look, guys, the trouble she's in and the things she's done are bad enough. You don't need to make shit up. You know, you don't need to go, oh, she looked like a busted out coke whore. She looked fucking terrible and burnt out and this and that. She looked good. She did. Our girl looked good. And, you know, also, covering this is fine. This isn't gossip stuff. This was our old co-host. She worked on the Steel Toe Show. This was an employee. This is worth covering. Shuli isn't the only person who had an employee work through the court system this week. Can we drop the name Imholte? I'm asking nicely. I'll say please. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I would just rather, and it's not even because of me. Seriously, I don't want her to have my children's last name. I would rather, respectfully, I'm asking, and I know they both watch this show because she changes her Instagram posts because I showed a picture of the dress she had on when we were in Las Vegas there when I bought her those dresses. First of all, I would tell both of you, like Nick, April, stop watching Steel Toe. It's bad for you. This is not good. Like, I wouldn't watch, if I were in your position, I wouldn't watch me. It can't be entertaining for you. It can't be good. It's got to be heart-wrenching constantly. I wouldn't do it. But anyway, may I ask in the future that we use Andersen, please? I don't care if you fucking use Riketa, just not Imholte, if you will. I don't believe you're deserving of the name, first of all. As Mel Gibson said in The Patriot, my children are better men. Well, and women. But please, for their sake, take their last name off your shit, please. Fivi Inzo says you watched every second of it, Guy. I haven't seen it. The only clip I've seen is let me see them tits fart. That's all I've seen of the whole thing. I don't know anything else. But like I said, we knock out the goal tonight. I'll gladly watch it with you. JS with $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99. He says, there's no way you can spin it. April looked hot as fuck. I mean, easy on hot as fuck. It's court. You can look good. Can't really do hot as fuck in court. You know, it's not appropriate to do hot as fuck. She looked good, though. She looks like she has someone with money taking care of her finally. You mean the guy with a wife and 5 children? Yeah, right. Exactly. Who doesn't want her to flip on him? You're right, JS. That is exactly the own you thought it was. No, she looked very good. We can agree on that 100%. Now, not everyone in the chat agrees with that. A lot of people are saying very mean, nasty things. I disagree with those things. Ozone with $4.99 says it's time like this. It's times like this when I bet you're glad you were kicked out of the polycule. Am I right? I don't know. If you look at Nick's text to me the night I said I wasn't coming back, I wouldn't say kicked out, my man. But again, thank you, Ozone, for the $4.99. 235 is our number for tonight. If we knock it out, if we make it another win for the toe, that's going to mean we watch the whole thing for overtime. Thank you, Buffalo Jockey, for the $1. He says, stay off social media after you leave the show. I didn't have to go on social media. I had people just calling me, texting me, wanting to like get my take on things and everything else. Let's go ahead to the chat. A lot of people want to go off on this, and I want to let them. If you have any specific questions of me, again, I got to monetize this little program. And you got some questions about my takes or anything that I leave out? Super Chat, PayPal, Streamlabs, it's all linked at the top of the page. Honky says, April wasn't too fond of her corner demon. I saw that. She had a corner demon today. Here's the problem. It was kind of cute to see Nick and April switch places, you know, like him be the corner demon for once. Problem is, I think what happened was April's corner demon, you know, he's a lying liar who lies, and you can't trust a word he says. But if you're stupid and he's the only voice you hear because he's isolated you from everyone else, you believe him. Some of us are smarter than that. And we know that everything he has said has been not true. Everything he said has been a lie. So he had her gassed up, thinking that this motion to dismiss, fait accompli, man. It's a done deal. Don't you worry. Oh, man, it's going to be wiped out. This is a home run. Lawyer did a good job writing it. I mean, he did the best he could. And I'm sure Nick had her thinking, bro, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks this search warrant's getting thrown out. Remember, he's the one who told you, you don't have any charges because of me. You now only have charges because of him. He's the one who introduced you to cocaine. He's the one who told you can move back in. It'll be fine. We'll all just live together. And then they put charges back on you. He's the reason you've got charges in the first place. Nothing he's told you has been correct. Everything I've said has come to pass. And yet, here you are still surprised when this retard leads you astray. I mean, these women don't deserve sympathy anymore. They've listened to this fucking dipshit with no tard wrangler to control him. They've bought everything, and they're wondering why everything is a loss and denied and continued. Guys, gals, do you think that maybe the call's coming from inside the house? No? Fine then. Don't listen to me. I just went to my children's open house today while you went to court. Just, again, throwing it out there. I'm just a guy sipping on a $20,000 drink, doing some court TV analysis, as you see. This is a court TV tonight. Hardcore court coverage with cues. That's the name of tonight's episode. The Dr. Mengele thing from Honky, that was very funny. MSO, this is not a gay shirt. The Gophers play tomorrow, and I'm showing my fandom. Brittany Boo says, are you drunk already? No, I'm having a good time, though. Helgi says, let's get fucking drunk marathon stream. No, we'll knock out the goal. We'll see how it goes from there. Dr. Rondo says, I love the smug. I'm not being smug. I'm trying to help. I was very complimentary in High Road. I said she looked great today. Looked better than she has in months. Thought she looked good. Didn't have any hooker outfits on. Call me a simp. I thought she looked good. If my whole story, let's say I was defending myself from something. Let's say someone said, hey, you live somewhere where this terrible thing happened. We're charging you with this terrible thing. And you said, aha, bullshit. Throw the whole thing out because I don't live there. I'm just visiting. Okay, you're just visiting. So you get a lawyer. You're ready to defend yourself. And the lawyer goes, we're going to get this thing thrown out. You know why? Because you were just visiting. Thank you, lawyer. I appreciate that. And then you show up for court for the motion to have the thing thrown out because you were just visiting in the fucking studio of the place that was raided. You literally went to court at the scene of the crime. If only there was a lawyer in that fucking house to give you any advice. I mean, good Christ. This is like OJ doing his fucking arraignment with bloody gloves on and a knife dangling from his neck like a necklace. Gee, and it's like OJ doing a fucking arraignment Zoom stream with Nicole Brown's head in his hand. What the fuck? Like somebody said in the chat, Dr. Mengele visiting Auschwitz. I'm just visiting Auschwitz. There's conjoined twins cut in half on your table. What are you talking about? That was hilarious. It was funny, but it was sad at the same time. Because it shows that between these three people, there ain't a fucking firing synapse between them. Kids, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Ugh. Do it from the fucking Resident Evil shower in the other house. I don't give a shit. Just don't do it from the scene of the crime when your whole excuse is, I don't live there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Use your phone. I do therapy every week. Zoom call from my phone. Works fine. Anders says, laughing my ass off, Nick is really fucking spiraling. Really? What did he do more? Or what did he do now? I mean, he really fucking, like, he gasses these girls up and tells them all this shit that's going to happen, and then it never happens. But again, in Nick's defense, oddly enough, these girls, they keep buying the shit. Why wouldn't you keep selling it? There's a reason Nick has no friends anymore. There's a reason everyone's abandoned him. It's because he tries to control everyone. Intelligent people don't appreciate being handled, and they fucking split. I'm gone. Drexel's gone. Fucking all his law people are gone. You know? The only people that are left are the people who think they can get something from him. And, you know, there's a reason there's only 3 of you left and that the kids were gone for an entire summer. And the reason is you fucking lie. You try to create your own reality. You try to bend the universe to your will. Motherfucker, you're not Thanos. You're not even Ebony Maw. You're the little kid in Iron Man 3. I think that would be more accurate. Citizen M says, wait, Nick was DMing your first one. No, Citizen M. No. This actually might be creepier. Citizen M says that heckler at the end was incredibly dishonest. April doesn't have tits. I mean, look, I've got more experience than anyone, and I will tell you, April does have tits. It's just that when you compare her to someone who has big tits, she doesn't have. Look, it's more of a comparison thing. She'd have the biggest tits in, say, a middle school. They exist. They're her tits. They're tits. It's not always, the giant voluptuous tits that, win at the county fair. Sometimes, petite works for some people. With those. Anime sucks, Cope and Sneed. God bless you, dude. How about Anime sucks, Cope and Sneed becoming famous because of Nick's Coke stream? Is this the Anime sucks, Cope and Sneed? Should I read this super chat 5 times? Says, sad to see April today. Threw it all away for Nick, who was sitting in the room, not because he cares about her. He's only there to make sure she won't throw him under the bus for his case. She can still run. Oh, are we getting serious now? God damn it. I agree with you. Under no circumstance would I want April back ever. I can't let her around my children, and I don't want to experience that ever again. And now knowing that she's kind of a chameleon, she's kind of someone who mirrors a lot. Nothing would ever feel genuine. But I don't want her. I want better. How do I say this? I would never want her again. But I want better for her than this. I think she has more in her. That's a fucking... that is a bad choice of words. I'm better than this. I think rebuilding her life would be easy. I think you could go to Litchfield. Nobody would really know much about what you've been up to or anything like that. Your parents could get you a job where they work. They could set you up real nice. You could start moving up the ladder. You can still kick this felony thing. Not the way Nick tells you to, because you got to remember, Nick is a narcissist. Nick looks out for Nick first. Nick is never going to tell April the actual key to her freedom. He doesn't care about her. He cares about Nick. And if people care about Nick, he can care about them until it's time to care about Nick first. That's about as far as it goes. I will give him that. But he's focused on self-preservation. I believe if he loved you, he would tell you, they will drop this felony case if you put this on me. I am a man. I am a father of 5. I am a husband. And being that sometimes means you take a bullet for others and you take responsibility. Testify against me. You'll be free. You'll have no charges. If you want to be the man you told other people you are when you said she doesn't have charges because of me, make that fucking true. Don't make that a cope in your brain. Make it true. You might even redeem yourself in the eyes of some of these people who hate you. I know I would have a lot of respect for that move. You're 42. You've got a trust fund, 5 kids and a wife of 20 years. Bro, your time is over. Whatever you were going to do, you did it. And while you had a short run, it was a good run. It's a better run than I'll ever have. Let's say I get back on radio, I even get syndicated. I'll never have a run that you had for that year or 2. Ever. What more do you want? It's still time to turn it around and be a decent human being rather than a giant hunk of shit. So I agree with Anime Sucks, Cope, and Sneed. Nick was in that room to babysit. He was not there for support. Nick wants to make sure she doesn't roll over. But if Nick really gave a shit, he would say, blame it on me. Get yourself free. You're 29 years old. You've got the rest of your life ahead of you. Please do it. Especially if you're guilty. Like, if I love someone and I'm guilty of something and they're tangentially involved, I will do what I can to make sure they're safe. Nick just doesn't have that gene, I guess.
Hit the like button.
And be like, hey, yeah.
Okay, fuck you, Doom.
Goodbye. I'll do it like that show. Goodbye.
Shut up, Doom. And don't you dare clip this, you son of a bitch.
I'd be careful about that Doom guy.
Doom's a weirdo.
By the way, if you listen to anything that Doom guy says, you're probably listening to a mentally retarded person.
Doom, you're gone again. That's it. I'm so sick of you anyway.